So some exciting news came out of Urban Meyer's mouth today, and that is that Trevor Lawrence will be getting reps on Saturday against the Browns in our first preseason game. I know a lot of us were a little concerned. Are they going to be rushing these guys out there, or are they going to be sitting? But thank God we're going to see Trevor Lawrence for the first time in a Jaguars uniform on the Jaguars, in the Jaguar Stadium, throwing balls with live bullets. But one concerning thing that came out was that there is still an open competition between Gardner Minshew and Trevor Lawrence, and there is a real chance that Trevor Lawrence might not be the Week 1 starter against Houston. In fact, Urban Meyer said out of his mouth that there is a chance that Gardner Minshew could be starting Week 1. So I mean, it is a little bit concerning. I mean, the thing is, there are people out there that love Gardner Minshew, and there's people out there that don't necessarily like Gardner Minshew when it comes to his play on the field. But one thing that both sides can agree on is that Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback. At least long term is going to be a better quarterback. Just Gardner Minshew or Trevor Lawrence does things that Gardner Minshew just simply can't do when it comes to reading the field, seeing over linemen in front of him, throwing in the middle of the field, throwing the deep ball, throwing with great arm strength, all that kind of stuff. And, we all saw Gardner Minshew last year just be a little bit flustered as a starting quarterback at times. But I really think that, Gardner Minshew is having a great camp, and I think that he's even surprising Urban Meyer. I mean, they went out there and signed CJ Beathard to like a 2-year, $5 million deal. I think there's a real chance that, when you look at Gardner Minshew on tape from last year, he wasn't very good. And I think Urban Meyer was looking at a lot of that. And I don't know if he really expected him to, one, be on the team, or two, necessarily be a backup quarterback. But when it comes to all the quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence and Gardner Minshew are up here, and then CJ Beathard and Jake Luton are kind of at the bottom. I mean, there's a clear difference between all those different guys. And like I said, Gardner Minshew is having a good camp. But really, man, I'm at the point where, dude, I have so much trust in Urban Meyer. I really do believe in Urban Meyer to the point where I don't think he would be stupid enough to start Gardner Minshew Week 1. Like, Trevor Lawrence gives us a far better chance to win. And the NFL schedule makers did us a favor with Urban Meyer coming over from the college football ranks. They have a tune-up game for us when it comes to Week 1 against Houston. Now, I'm not going to sit here and really pencil us in for a win that week for a few reasons. One, it's away. Two, any given Sunday in the NFL. And three, we haven't beat Houston since 2017, but they're a whole mess. They're on paper, they're the worst team in the NFL with all the Deshaun Watson drama. They have a head coach who just kind of agreed to be the coach. Not necessarily that was the most qualified, but that situation is really bad. And also, if there is a time we need to get Trevor Lawrence acclimated, it is during the month of September. We have some easy opponents coming up. 3 out of the first 4 games for the Jaguars are playing teams that in 2020 finished off with double-digit losing records when it comes to the Texans, the Bengals, and the Broncos. And then, if all of a sudden you say, okay, week 3, we're going to go ahead and start Trevor Lawrence, then October is going to be a tough acclimation period because you're playing 4 teams that had winning records when it comes to the Titans, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, and the Bills. So really, Trevor Lawrence needs to start off right away for me. And Trevor Lawrence is a far superior quarterback. I really am not super concerned that Trevor Lawrence will not be the Week 1 starter. I know a lot of this stuff is formalities, and Urban Meyer coming over from the college football ranks, you know what I mean? It's all about competition. You bring true freshmen in there and they're third, fourth string because they're not really going to be relied to be starter until until a year or two in. It's a lot different with the NFL where you really do have limited reps in practice. And nowadays, rookie quarterbacks are more ready than they've ever been in the past with, college football and NFL just kind of becoming more of the same type of game as opposed to college football, you're under spread. NFL, you run a pro style, and you're under center. It's a big difference. It's not really like that anymore. And Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, and most people's opinions, really do give the Jaguars the best, the best chance to win Week 1 and going forward. Now, one thing, I don't mind, I guess, at the point right now, because look, when it comes to Trevor Lawrence getting rest with the backups and Gardner Minshew getting rest with the starters, it's not all that bad of a plan just because, at any given point, Trevor Lawrence is one play away from suffering a season-ending injury, and then all of a sudden you have to have Gardner Minshew in there to be starter. So it's not unwise to give him, some starter reps. But one thing that I will be extremely critical about if Urban Meyer does in the preseason is if Trevor Lawrence goes out there with a backup offensive line. I will be extremely critical of that. Trevor Lawrence is the number one asset that the Jaguars have on the team, around the organization, all over. I mean, he's never have a franchise quarterback. He looks to be the part. He is the sense of hope for the Jaguars. I have like 2 Trevor Lawrence shirts. I have a Trevor Lawrence jersey. I have a Trevor Lawrence poster in the back of me. I have so much Trevor Lawrence merchandise, my fiance is starting to get jealous. So it's like, we need this guy to remain healthy. And if he goes out there with a backup offensive line, that I would not agree with that. In my opinion, I think it's going to be a circumstance where Trevor Lawrence does start with the ones on Saturday, and then, you know, sometime next week they're going to announce Trevor Lawrence as a starting quarterback going forward. You know, that's just my opinion on it. These guys everybody's at practice. We all see what Trevor Lawrence is doing, including the coaches. And I think that they're going to make a wise decision. I think they're going through all the formalities that, you know, generally they do in the NFL now, where, you know, oh, we need competition. We need the best guy to play, you know, but we all know what's really going on here. So, yeah, man, let me know if you guys are excited for Saturday. I will be live streaming that on the channel, so you guys can watch it with me as we, you know, obviously I can't show the game, but I can do live commentary, play-by-play. We can hang out, watch the game together. Should be a lot of fun. So with all that said, thank you guys for watching the video. Drop a like for me if you guys can. See you guys next time. You guys watched the whole video. Really appreciate that. You guys can subscribe to the channel for the best source of Jaguars news on the YouTube platform. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at UCF_Jaguar. And you can become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month for exclusive channel content. Thank you guys, and go Jags.